Welcome to Auntie and Tarot. Let's get to your message. Here we go, collective. What's a message for you today that you will find helpful? Take what helps you. Disregard the rest. Take what is resonating. Disregard the rest. I pulled a rune for you, and you have this one. It talks about good fortune and the will of resistance. I think it's pronounced Thu Risaz. Will, resistance, luck for protection, defense, breaking down of boundaries, and force. Let's see what this is all about. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you to all of you who have supported this channel. I really appreciate it. Remember, not everything will resonate, but take what does. Take what helps you to help yourself. Leave the rest. Here we go. I feel like Cancer is prevalent in this read. 3 of Cups in the reverse. Being misunderstood here. Miscommunications. K-E-E-K. Letters coming through. Okay, I've got the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. This is something about karma. Breaking down your defenses, your boundaries. Something forceful. Karma comes in here. Bad karma here. Bad luck. But this talks about good luck. Let me review in between the lines here. Luck for protection. And yet we talk about interruptions, disturbances, having resistance here, a strong will, being kind of defensive maybe, but breaking down a defense, protection, breaking down of boundaries by force. I think this is also liberation from something toxic. I get that. Here's some good news. 6 of Wands. Justice in the reverse. Some victory after an injustice. Having to do with a miscommunication. Star is out here. Healing. 7 of Wands in the reverse. Oh, you knew we'd see the 7 of Wands. In the reverse, I didn't expect that. Being misunderstood. Something about being misunderstood. Persevering over this. Healing over this. The Empress in the reverse. Overly emotional energy here. Charged energy. One moment, please. Thank you for your patience through that interruption there. Lots of interruptions here. And this is actually, I'm misreading this. This is the Magician in the reverse. This is not the Empress. But I feel like something is presenting itself, or someone is presenting themselves in a sneaky kind of way. It's not truthful. It's not who they are. Yeah, and something about being kind of voluptuous and using that too. This is a person that has questionable intentions. You misunderstood them to be something else. The 9 of Pentacles is out here now. You misunderstood them to really value a relationship with you and definitely want to be by your side, something like that. I don't feel like that was the actual goal, authentically, truthfully. 9 of Swords is out here now. Now they're worried about what's coming back to them because of this. Something has become wide open here about an injustice that you're getting victory over. Yeah. High Priestess, you know this already, good intuition, or you knew this day would come, or you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel on this. You're seeing your victory, or you have already seen your victory. I think they maybe took you for an easy mark, something like that. Five of Wands is out here now. They brought a lot of chaos to you. Wow. Wow. They specifically wanted you to be misunderstood. They maybe told some stories about you that weren't true, so you would be misunderstood by others. They created a lot of chaos based on people misunderstanding you, but they were leading this charge. They led this misunderstandings, these misunderstandings. I feel like you're healing from this, but yeah, you're a little bit gun shy too. 10 of Wands in the reverse. Recovery, 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 written all over this read. Recovering, recovering. 6 of Pentacles. Recovering from some sort of generosity here. Somebody wishing you ill here. But I think it's in your past, and I think you already know it. The Hierophant is out here now. Yeah, it was time for the divine to step in. Show some grace, I hear. Show some grace to the situation. Show the truth here. Yeah, like bring light to the situation here, both for you and for others. People were getting sucked into some of this gossip here about you, but I think it was all done with questionable intentions. It took a lot of will and resistance on your part here. Luck of protection, remember. The Lovers in the reverse. Yeah, I feel like the divine definitely had to step in because this was turning into a situation that was very unbalanced, unfair. Somebody pretending to be some sort of love interest of yours, not the case. I think you got wise to this and are healing from it. What good news do we have here, Spirit? What's the lesson or good news? Let's go in another direction here. The Queen of Cups. I think you have just been marked, so to speak, by a certain type of person who notices that you're very giving and nurturing and supportive. But what they didn't count on is that you were also very intuitive and you got wise to them really fast. Like, I think maybe, in some instances, a person does this a lot, this type of routine, but you have caught on to them. In some cases, people don't catch on to them. You have caught on to them very fast. And there is something that's quite surprising there for them. Yeah, a lot of snakes in the grass here I see. A lot of snakes in the grass. Like they come with a whole crew of snakes. 9 of Cups, but you didn't see the hidden snakes. I feel like you move forward here. Actually, I feel like, you've discombobulated some sort of plan because you were a very sought after opportunity here. And there were layers of who was going to benefit from this. I think you're very intellectual, very skilled at what you do. Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. You've upset some sort of family here that was either counting on you in an opportunist sort of way, or the piece of your puzzle that you feel doesn't fit right now has something to do with family. But I do feel like even family could be involved here. Something about taking your prosperity or wanting to be family in order to do that. Two of Wands is out here now. Yeah, you come across as someone who can do anything, and that's, I think, what attracted this person who has a group behind them. Good news, though, there's a lot of back and forth with this. There could be legal matters involved here. Queen of Swords. I do see you cut this out. You got wise to it right away. You cut it out. Very intellectual, figured it out very fast. They cannot believe. I keep saying they because this person was the main person you dealt with, but they had a whole crew on this. And they're used to doing this type of activity. But you come with the truth here. You figured out the truth. Know that you're protected. Four of Wands. This might have gotten so far as planning an engagement or planning a wedding that you have cut out. You have drawn a halt to the death. Put an end to it. But I do see transformation here too. Yeah, your mind is what keeps it all going for you in a positive way. Yeah, very intellectual, can figure people out very fast. And also with regards to your career, just brilliant. Two of Pentacles out here now. And you keep busy with like the mind, the mental. That's what keeps you going, and that's what keeps you out of harm's way too. That's some advice, I feel. What else do we have here? Page of Swords, the truth. And you're not afraid to speak the truth. If there was some blackmailing going on here or something like this, or they wanted to be, this group wanted to be, well, I think you were dealing with one person, but I think the group's strategy was to maybe keep this on the down low, and always is, being undetected. You were willing to blow this wide open, and admit to a mistake, and that saved you a lot of grief from being strung along and continually manipulated. Two of Swords in the reverse here. Got extreme clarity on this situation, and you're willing to blow the whistle. Yeah. To help others. Okay, so the Chariot, the Queen of Wands. Yeah, putting a halt to, or rethinking, how much looks or attractive manipulations have been something that has not worked out for you in your life, some sort of pattern there maybe, or just realizing this particular situation was that, coming to some sort of conclusion about that this led nowhere, just following someone strictly based on looks, something like that. A lesson you will take with you. Yeah. The Hermit. A lesson you will take with you now moving forward. A very valuable lesson. A lesson even some of you may speak on to others or help others with. Yeah. Help them see the traps, or somehow how to get out of these traps. Five of Cups in the reverse. Yeah. The Temperance in the reverse. Seeing the signs, the imbalance. Three of Pentacles. Moving in another direction. The how-tos. Six of Swords. Transforming your life. I see that you've done that, but there is some element of helping others, maybe friends, or maybe you speak on some topic that helps others to see these kinds of signs, these warning signs. On a larger scale, maybe you help people. Knight of Wands in the reverse. Quick decisions. This group, this person was it's some pattern that you help others with too, and you've helped yourself because it was always a rush. They were always rushing you to do something. Oh, sign here. I need this right away. It was something that they always needed right away, but it was never to your benefit. It was always to theirs, and it was a rushing tactic so that you didn't have time to think about it. Then you took some time to think about all this, and you put it together. Your charm is the snail. Yeah, you took some time to put this all together, got the downloads about, why am I always being rushed around this person? Why does that equate to losing money or losing status or losing faith from the community? Yeah, something like that. But I feel like Spirit is saying, invest in yourself. Give yourself a break here that you figured this out as fast as you did. Learn the lesson here so you're not repeating past mistakes. And never, moving forward, don't let this situation keep you from being just who you are, with caution. But never give up showing people the true you. Or maybe this was a situation where you felt like you weren't your true self, but wanted it so much. But then, you got to see what this was all about. The King of Swords, yeah. Be wise. And again, we see in this read over and over again your intellect and your ability to be very wise beyond your years, maybe even very sharp. Very few people can pull the wool over your eyes for very long. Okay. Not for very long. Sideways, we see the sun coming out. Yeah, I think you're in a period now of, being obviously disappointed with this situation, but also being relieved that you're out of it. It didn't turn out as you had hoped, but also being relieved that you're out of it. The Ace of Wands, there will come, more. You're wondering, are there days that I'm going to be enthusiastic again? Absolutely. New beginnings that light a fire under you again, because you need to be very motivated by people and situations. Yes, I see. Newness comes to you. That is exactly that. Not to worry. Gifts from the divine. The Six of Wands in the reverse. I feel like you are kind of doubting that. This is taking a lot out of you. Some message here about look to the past. Liberate yourself from people who, even in your past, but specifically in this relationship, you got wise to this real quickly, that this was a game. But being wise to people that don't put in, to the relationship, it's always you. Looking for the signs, being aware. You've got really good intuition. We talked about your intellect, so it saved you in this instance. Two of Wands in the reverse. Fear of getting back out there. Being really drained by this experience. Down on, opportunities, sure. In love, this has got you really low, for sure. Something's going to show itself to you, and also you have to know that this had to slow down for you to see it more clearly. Okay, so there's something about you like quick things and fast pace, and you feel like, everything is so slow right now. Maybe like a Groundhog Day experience. Every day seems the same to you, and you really like variety and, change of pace. But I feel like Spirit in the cards, the energy here is saying things had to slow down so you could see them, because the momentum here just kept you kind of in an illusion. And that was all done on purpose. But I feel like, yeah, days of happiness are upon you. Your ships still come in here, your big wishes. It's gonna strike you as surprising when they do, because you're pretty down here about what you've gone through. But I feel like once the ships start coming in for you, then things move fast. Yeah. A lot of cards coming out here. Let's read them. So you have the Tower. Yeah, things happen quickly once they start getting going. But there is a period here of recovery. Yeah, we see that in the cards from the get-go. Ace of Cups. Yeah, maybe, not right away do you find love. Yeah, pull back even is a suggestion here for a bit. Recover from this. Okay? The pieces are still moving on this. Give yourself time to recover from it. Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Yeah. Now it's in the upright. Something faded, good fortune, protection, luck for protection. We started out with that. Temperance, after a period that's imbalanced because it's in the reverse. Got the Page of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, because you were dealing with a bunch of lies, lots of gossip, maybe the fallout of that now as well still. Nine of Pentacles, you're going to be just fine. You move in a way that is always very successful, even by yourself. I understand not wanting to be by yourself, but Spirit's saying, don't worry about that. There will come a time when, things are sparked here in a lot of different areas of your life, including that. But always know that the base for you to move forward is that you're so skilled at maybe reinventing yourself or being an entrepreneur, creating the next opportunity. That's you. That's your superpower. In addition to incredible mental, you're very wise, as we've mentioned, and also very intuitive. That's helped you in this situation, because Death in the reverse. Again, that's a nod to just the energy has to slow up right now for you. And it's just part of the process, I see that energy slowing up a lot in this read. Let's ask a little bit more specifically on that. Four of Pentacles in the reverse. It has to do with your foundation. And you have to liberate yourself from this individual and this experience, this situation. And it just takes time. I feel like that part is out of your hands. Ten of Wands in the reverse. But coming to a period that maybe you don't realize is actually starting to see the end of this, okay? The Moon. Yeah, what you don't see is the need for the slowness. You don't see the need for it because it's not your style, as we mentioned. But the need was for you to see this clearly and not keep being hustled. The pace, this quickness was keep the hustle going. You needed to slow down so you could put this together, put the pieces together and really see this clearly. And you need the slowness now to get out of this if you're dealing with some sort of legal system that's slow. Or just recovery. Give yourselves time to recover from this, okay? Final card here. Daniel could be a significant name. You're going to get your mojo back. King of Wands here. Yeah. You're going to be the exception in the room, the one everybody wants to stand next to and talk to. Yeah, don't worry about that. All that comes back, your eloquence, yeah. Your clarity, yeah. Knight of Cups in the reverse. But there is a period, and Spirit is saying, this is a healthy thing, where you just pull back in the love department. You're not so readily giving your cup of love, and there's just time for recovery here. That is your message. I hope you found it helpful. If you have, please do, or you're inclined, please do like, share, subscribe, comment. That really helps the channel. It helps the channel to grow. I'd really appreciate it if you would do that. And if you feel so inclined, please do utilize the link below for Buy Me a Coffee. Until next time, let's remember who we are and let's remember our self-worth. Thanks for joining me.